We are concerned because we know three government entities, namely the National Insurance Fund, the Norman Manley International Airport, and the Airports Authority of Jamaica, are listed as 3 of the 10 largest shareholders in this entity. I'm calling on the Minister of Finance to tell the country how much money was invested by these entities.
Bless up, ABR family and viewers. Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, and Isabel Rose. And in this one, real estate deal gone sour between Sagicor and First Rock real estate investment, as well as the People's National Party demands answers as to what went down and how much of taxpayers' dollars have basically gone down the drain. Stay tuned for the details at hand. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. So, kicking off the first segment, ABR family and viewers, another trouble in paradise as it pertains to this government investing taxpayers' dollars with First Rock. And this was back in 2020 where the government had used 3 of the government entity and basically bought shares in First Rock. So there's 3 government entity that is a part of a list of 10 shareholders in First Rock real estate. And they bragged and they boasted photo ops and all. And you can see it right there, it's up on the screen. And I'm about to read out the shareholders list right here, so Funo. And it says shareholders listings, shareholders Joyce Chin and Bobby Chin have 19.3 million shares. We have the JCSD Trustee Services Limited holding 15.4 million shares there. Norman Manley International Airports Limited holding 14.2 million shares. Airport Authority of Jamaica holding 14.2 million shares. MF&G Asset Management holding 10.4 million shares. National Insurance Fund holding 10 million shares. And TJBK Investment Limited holding 10 million shares as well. Sagicor Pool Equity Fund holding 8.8 million shares, and Ryan Kwesi Reed holding 5.3 million shares, as well as PAM Pool Equity Fund holding 5.1 million shares, totaling over 286 million shares, right? And it seems as if some trouble went down in paradise between, First Rock and Sagicor, to which Sagicor basically put out a immediate release on June 4, 2025, and it says Sagicor Bank statement on First Rock real estate investment, Hambani Estate. So Sagicor Bank Jamaica has made the difficult decision to place the lands under mortgages for the Hambani Estate development granted to First Rock Real Estate Investments Limited into receivership. And before I continue on, let me read out what this receivership is really about so persons can have a greater understanding of where we're going here. So receivership is a legal process where a court appoints a receiver, a neutral third party, to manage or oversee a company's assets, often to protect them or to resolve disputes. It can be used in various situations, such as when a company defaults on a loan, is facing a dispute among shareholders, or is experiencing financial difficulties. So that's what the whole receivership is about. So let me continue with this immediate release. This is with the exception of one house lot, which has been fully paid for. The decision follows months of good faith efforts to reach a fair and sustainable resolution. This outcome is the result of extensive dialogue and compromise. It comes only after exhausting all reasonable alternatives to achieving a mutually beneficial resolution. Our responsibility extends not just to our partners, but also to our clients, employees, shareholders, and the broader community. Sagicor Bank remains committed to operating with prudence, transparency, fairness, and integrity. we will continue to act in the best interest of all our stakeholders. And so following that release from Sagicor, First Rock also responded to that. But before I read out what First Rock Real Estate said, we are yet to learn of the amount that this government has invested in this First Rock Real Estate Investment Company. And this is another case of where they took taxpayers' dollars and invested in the whole SSL. And we are yet to hear whether or not those monies were recovered. We know, based on the former finance minister Nigel Clark, who told reporters that they use money from the National Health Fund. They also use money from the National Housing Trust. They use money from National Insurance Fund. And they use money from the Agricultural Society, as well as the Jamaica Banana Industry Catastrophe Fund. And we are yet to hear if those monies were recovered from SSL. And so First Rock responded, and they said, First Rock Real Estate Investment Limited hereby advises of its intent to refinance the credit facility extended by Sagicor Bank Jamaica Limited surrounding the development of its Hambani Estate residential complex located at 1-3 Bamboo Avenue in Kingston. Given the maturity of the aforementioned Sagicor Bank facility, First Rock has engaged with a financial institution with a view to fully repaying the facility. Currently, Sagicor Bank has taken possession of the remaining lots. Now it begs to question what can really go so. So this government take up our hard earning tax dollars and just invest it wherever their friends and come below have a business without even doing any background check to make sure that these companies are, credible. And so I want to know, as the People's National Party opposition finance Julian Robinson calling on Favour Williams to come out and explain all of this to the Jamaican people.
The People's National Party is very concerned that news today that First Rock Real Estate Investment Limited has been placed in receivership by Sagicor. We are concerned because we know three government entities, namely the National Insurance Fund, the Norman Manley International Airport, and the Airports Authority of Jamaica, are listed as 3 of the 10 largest shareholders in this entity. I'm calling on the Minister of Finance to tell the country how much money was invested by these entities in First Rock, what the value of those investments are, and what the future of the investments are, given that the company has been placed into receivership. When Airports Authority made the investment in First Rock, it raised a number of questions, and in fact the Integrity Commission had done a report which showed that they had breached the Ministry of Finance's own regulations and even went against their own board's advice on this matter. This is of grave importance to the country because taxpayers' money could potentially be down the drain with this investment. So the Minister of Finance needs to indicate to the country the total value of the investments placed in First Rock by government agencies and what the status of those investments are as of today.
I even came across a news article where Prime Minister Andrew Holness is basically telling the people of Jamaica to hold the faith. How longer must the people hold the faith? The people have been holding the faith from ever before. Now he wants to come and quote scripture to the people to win them over. The people are holding the faith while he holds on to his riches, while he holds on to 28 bank accounts. The people deserve better. The people deserve to know the truth and nothing but the stinking truth. The economy is not booming as how they make it seems. So I do believe that it is safe to say that Jamaica is done. With a deal gone sour like this, where Sagicor have to take up in their hands to do what they have to do in order to gain their money, then this tells me that Jamaica is done under this government. Well-thinking Jamaicans, we deserve better. We deserve to know How much was invested? We deserve to know how our taxpaying dollars are being spent under any government. This government has too much secrecy going on. This government wants to do as they please with our taxpaying dollars, and we cannot question. They shove everything under the carpet and everything is done under secrecy. We need answers, and we need answers now. Time come for us to hold them accountable. Time come for us to get transparency. Time come for good governance and good leadership. ABR family and viewers, what says you all about this? Drop on the comments in the comment section with me you wanna say. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel on the road to 30K. Help me to get there. Get this video to at least 7,000 likes. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay tuned for more updates. Big up on yourself.